Hey y'all, welcome back to the DIY Entrepreneurs Reaction Show. I'm so glad you decided to tune in with me today. Go ahead and hit that like button and become a subscriber to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. I would really appreciate that. Today we're going to be reacting to another Shark Tank pitch, so let's check it out.
First into the tank is a way to optimize the experience of rooting for your home team.
I like some Kumar.
Hi Sharks, my name is Mike Doyle and I'm the CEO of Rent Like a Champion.
And I'm Drew Mitchell, the co-founder of Rent Like a Champion. Sharks, we're here today to ask you for $200,000 in exchange for 10% of our business.
Imagine a crisp fall football weekend. You're back at your alma mater with your family and your team just won by a touchdown. You're riding high and basking in the tradition. But then you have to pile the kids into the car, fight 2 hours of traffic to drive the 15 miles back to the hotel, where the group splits up into 3 separate hotel rooms. Just like that, your family's game day experience is over.
Sharks, strong. Not anymore. Thanks to Rent Like a Champion, we solved that problem by connecting fans with their own home just steps from the stadium.
Last year, 49 million Americans attended a college football game, and an estimated 70% of those need a place to stay. Fans like those flock to our website, choose the town and the event that they're attending, and book a weekend rental matching their precise criteria. It's an incredibly easy process.
And Sharks, it's the fourth quarter, and we're ready to offer one of you the ball. Now, which one of you is ready to invest like a champion?
What's the big difference between you and Airbnb?
We focus on big events.
I can't go to...
I was just, in my mind, I was thinking, like, is this pre-Airbnb? Like, isn't that what you could do on Airbnb? Is they just focused on sporting events? Let's see what this is all about.
Airbnb and rent during a big event?
You know what? Probably not in South Bend, Indiana, or in Ann Arbor. You're not going to find the inventory that we have.
But you are?
We're operating in non-traditional vacation rental markets. So we're finding these small towns where people aren't doing this.
Tell me how you find those homes and why those people wouldn't go to Airbnb and they go to you.
So on the homeowner side, again, this is a marketplace that really doesn't exist in these towns. So they don't even know this is an option.
How do you educate?
So we use digital marketing to target the exact zip codes near the stadium. Once we have at least 50 people interested in listing on our site, we send one of our team members down to these towns. We meet with them in person, just like a coach in the living room, and we recruit them to come onto our site.
Oh, wow. So you're in there one by one.
I gotta be honest, if I'm renting my house out, I've got my fingers crossed that football fans don't rent it. I mean, if they're there for the game, they're trash.
That's a question that we've definitely heard.
Well, bottom line for me, exactly because of what Chris said, I'm out.
I'd like to address kind of the size of this market and what we've been able to accomplish so far. So last year, college football fans spent $12 billion supporting their teams. Of that, $2.5 billion went towards lodging. We've processed through our platform $6.1 million worth of rentals. That has earned us $1.4 million in fees.
That's very respectable.
Wow, Mike, that's impressive.
Thank you very
What about
much.
this trashing issue?
that.
What percentage of owners say, my house got trashed, everything in it's destroyed, and everybody threw up in my kitchen?
Chris, I did want to touch on that. I wasn't trying to
Doesn't
avoid the
happen.
subject.
They leave it in perfect shape with a rose on the table.
So we have processed nearly 4,000 rentals in the lifetime of the company. In those rentals, the incident rate has been 1.9%. When there is an incident, the average charge to security deposit has been $98.
Let me give you a quick story. I met the Airbnb guys in the first few days of their company, and I had an opportunity to invest in that company at just a few $1 million valuation, and I actually let the negative case cloud my view. I literally was like, somebody's gonna get murdered and the blood is gonna be on your hands, and that cost me hundreds of millions, maybe billions of dollars. That said, if this is that big a market, you must have come up against them competitively. Are you seeing them start to target this same audience?
Not yet.
Good question.
They're really right now focused on big cities. As Drew said, if you're going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or State College, Pennsylvania, or Auburn, Alabama, they really don't have a ton of inventory in these towns. And the great thing about this problem we're solving is it's a problem on both sides. So we're getting fees from the homeowner and from the renter.
And what do you charge the homeowner?
We
What do you charge the renter?
There's a 15% fee on the homeowner side, and there's an 8% fee on the renter side.
So we're buttering both sides of the bread. It's important to understand that folks that we're solving the problems for, their kids and their families and its aunts and uncles and grandma and grandpa. They're coming back to the campus. They don't want to stay in multiple hotel rooms. Can you imagine grandma and grandpa and the kids are down the hall and they don't get a pinch of the cheeks? We put them in a home. It's a way better experience.
Slow down. I'm worried you're going to spontaneously.
He is
I've
excited.
experienced the South Bend thing. I went to a game last fall, and all this passion, I saw it. I also had a hard time getting enough rooms for all the guys I went down.
Sure.
How many listings do you have in South Bend?
South Bend is our biggest market. We've been there the longest. We have 350 homes available in South Bend. For big games, we'll rent out 80 to 90% of those properties.
Talk about the growth in those listings.
So last year we had about 200 homes in South Bend. The really cool thing on the homeowner side is that people start telling their friends how much money they made. They're bragging to their coworkers, and we're getting referrals left and right. Our best homeowner in South Bend last year has 2 homes near campus. He pulled in $40,000 using our website. From him alone, we've received dozens of referrals.
And have you raised any money?
Absolutely not. Drew, how much debt do we have on the company?
Zero!
How many times have we raised outside funds?
Zero!
This has been totally bootstrapped,
We're having
guys.
fun and we're making money.
And Mike, sales this year are 1.4 million. What will they be next year? What are you projecting?
So that was the 1.4 in fees. That was lifetime. Okay, so in 2014, our sales through the platform were $2.3 million. We kept $530,000 of that in our fees. In 2015, we'll process $4.13 million in transactions. That will net us $950,000 in our fees.
You're not
Wow.
worried that Airbnb says, look, they just put a separate tab there saying if you're going to a college game, this is the place to check. Because
No, and here's why. Because these homes are hard to sign up. You have to go in these towns where they've never heard of this concept,
I buy it.
the sharing economy.
how many towns are there that are even close to what South Bend is in terms of rabid demand?
There are 43 college towns where they average 50,000 or more people per game in attendance. We're currently in 20. We're asking for the $200,000 investment to get into the remaining 20 that we've identified in the next 12 months.
How do you spend the money? I
So
give
we
you the
spend the money
200,000.
on.
I love, first of all, how they know their numbers, how they know their industry, and how they know these cities. They must be some really big college sports fans. But they're splitting out these numbers and the knowledge of the cities. They just splitting that information out. And I can understand why they're so excited. $1.4 million in fees over the lifetime. They didn't say when they started. But they have already generated a profit of more than $500K. That was in 2014, and this is being aired in 2015. And so they said this year they're going to make almost $100,000 profit. You understand what I'm saying? Like profit, $100,000, and they're doing some real intimate type of recruiting. You know. And like they said, they getting fees from the renter and fees from the homeowner. You see Mark just kind of laying back in the cut. I can see that this is going to be a good bidding war as well. I think Kevin is interested too. So let's see how it pans out.
Direct mail advertising, and then we couple that sometimes with radio ads.
Listen, I like it. I'll do $200K for 15%, just because I like to negotiate.
All right.
I mean, I would do $200K for the 10%. I think it's a no-brainer at this valuation.
And
Can you believe this?
I
This
think-
guy's got a big-time man crush on you, by the way.
I was doing a little research last night.
Man
You know, I
crushes
think
lately.
It must be the beard.
It must be.
I'll tell you what, I am not opposed to listening to what this guy might be able to do if he's interested at all. I do think he has something to bring to the table. I like it. Look, I don't want to compete with Airbnb head on, but I do think there is something to addressing an audience that those guys haven't necessarily gone after.
If you want to do something together and just split it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, real quick, I want people to help, to understand the vision. Mike's task right now.
You're looking at a gift horse right in the mouth, right?
I'm not going to screw this up, Mark. I promise you. I just want everybody to understand.
Just be careful. You look a gift horse in
all
the
right,
mouth,
you
you
bet.
might get your
Hey,
nose
I'll
bit
shut it
off.
up when I get advice like that. I know when to stop talking.
So what's your answer?
So 10% total for 200K?
Correct.
Yeah. All right. We got a provision. Go nuts, Mark.
We're going to need both you guys to come tailgate with us.
South Bend, Indiana.
Okay.
And then we got a deal.
He's going, I ain't going.
Oh,
you kidding me? I went to Indiana. I hate Notre Dame.
We'll double it
think the deal's off.
with an Indiana basketball game.
I would get back to the deal.
All right. We would love to do
Yeah,
the deal.
absolutely,
Are you
guys.
kidding? This is exciting for
Yeah,
us.
dream come true. Thank you guys both.
wow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mark like I ain't making no promises to going to Indiana. And so they ended up walking out of the tank with a deal with Mark and Chris for exactly what they asked for. $200K for 10%. They each going to get 5% of the deal, and they're each going to give up $100K for, you know, making a partnership. And so I really do wish them all the best. You could tell how excited they were, at least the entrepreneurs. That other guy, you could tell he's like the hype man of the business. But it's cool. I was just really impressed with the way that they knew their numbers, impressed with the way they knew these small cities and like the college arena. You know, they must be some real big college sports fans, you know. But that was just very impressive for all the things that they went through. So best of luck to them in this deal. Make sure y'all check out the description to read up on and see how they are doing today. This was back in 2015. So make sure y'all check out the links below in the description box to see if they're still in business. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and staying until the end. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and become a subscriber to the channel if you like this content. And make sure you check us out for the next ones.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. All right. Yeah. Man. Touchdown. Good work. This is exactly what we wanted to deal with. You know, Mark has got the sports world covered. Everything Chris touches in Silicon Valley turns to gold. I couldn't be happier with the way this turned out.
Can you grow it beyond that so it's a true competitor to Airbnb? Well, I don't think so.
I think it's a pickup by Airbnb. I think it's the kind of thing
Well,
that's
you gotta
required
put
by
pressure
those
on
guys.
them,
If they've look at that valuation, that kind of cash flow right now. I think
the
that's
downside.
I think you can only win in that deal.